and finally kind of started hitting me as well, and I went a bit deeper in it, and I had to literally release some, we can call them more painful ideas about myself, about, I would even call them like beliefs about myself of, I'll just maybe say it, it was very clear, it was, why won't they love me? And I had this very, very deep belief inside of me, and I had to work with it. It wasn't the most comfortable. If if you hear it and listening to it, why won't they love me? There's a lack there. There's a pain there. Like there's something missing there for a person, and for me that translated into some childhood stuff that I had. Some stuff happened to me. I won't share that right now, but some stuff happened to me where I made myself believe, or that belief started like, why won't they love me? They don't love me. Started, and that really, really intensely came up one night, and I had to, like, I think I was avoiding it a little bit, but I in the end, I kind of like balls of steel, hustle, spiritual. Okay,
Spiritual hustle never stops.
Never stop. But like it was intense. It was intense meditation I put myself through, and I think I'm a little bit in that process of still letting some of that go. But I must mention one thing more. It was like the actual decision and act of actually going into that space and going into that belief and going into the feeling. Because at first I didn't even know that that was the belief I was going into, because it was just a feeling. It was an uncomfortable feeling, and I just went into it, and that unraveled from that point onwards.
I'm curious on. We talked a bit about not drinking alcohol and doing all these things that, you and I used to do. I'm curious nowadays, how can you tell that you're avoiding something? What are your, because for me, it used to be like, oh, I need so much wine. Right. But now that's not a thing, right? You deal with that and whatever, the bigger things. But yeah, how do you know?
Very often the first thing is entertainment. I started seeking out entertainment. And I just want to preface this a little bit. Maybe it's because it doesn't mean that all entertainment is bad and you shouldn't have fun. No, not at all. But like if there is almost like a neediness towards entertainment. I need to get this. I need to watch this movie. I need to. There is a tiny or a big chance actually that you're trying to get something out of that. You're trying to fill yourself. Again, you're trying to fill that void, which is actually needing and requiring your own presence. Now it's, in the form of entertainment right now. I think it's one of the things really big for me. Sometimes I can say sex, maybe as well, like sexual desire. Like again, sexual desire is bad, but again, when it goes to that extreme of I need, again, you need to most likely look at that emptiness.
Interesting.
What about you?
Yeah, because I was kind of thinking about it a bit, and so the entertainment thing, I think it shows up a little differently for me, where I'm like, oh, I want to watch something, but I don't know what I want to watch. And I can't choose. And I'm just like, oh, I'm avoiding something. Shit. Let's have a little look. That's one. And then also food. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, I certainly need a big bowl of popcorn right now. Like, absolutely. This is a must have. And I'm like, oh wait, hang on. Let's dial it back. What? Yeah, it's like, no, actually you need some proper nutrition and and to look at whatever you're covering up.
I think food.
When I say you, I'm referring to myself.
You is good as well. I think that applies to me. Food definitely applies to me. Maybe it's more like a well-made burger meat, like some steak or something really good that I start yearning for and desiring for. But yeah, I'm just like,
Yeah.
it's good to reflect on it right now, actually, to kind of pull these out into the open. I feel like it's important to kind of mention that as well.
Yeah. And I liked how you talked about beliefs as well, because I think that's a huge thing. Like, what do you believe about yourself? Especially with the Scorpio stuff. Like, oh man.
Like, this is an opening still, guys. It's I mean, we're already out of it in a way, but the energy will carry us or carry with us for at least 3 months. And when we're talking about, like, the node, south node is still in Scorpio, so, and it will be there for a while. So the opportunity to, I think, to release these deeper things, maybe a little bit of I can't say it's like super made easy for us, but like there is some, we can say, a little bit of help to us as well in the form of South Node. So those opportunities right now will be there to help you get, let's say, free from some of these things that have been kind of triggering you, pain, traumatizing you. There is an opportunity to let them go. And most likely you're going to have to dance a little bit with that as well, because it's that Saturn is there, and Saturn was there, and if you're going for those yearnings and cravings, and maybe the alcohol and things and that, might be a hint there for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
It got a little bit heavier now.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like.
So we'll just call that Joy back on in. What's up, Joy? That was something that we've been talking about, just like inviting in like Happy Buddha and all that stuff. Cause like, I mean, I had such a great week. It was just so happy and I was laughing and amazing things were going on. So it's just like, this is what I want my life to be like. This is what I want to focus on. I want, it doesn't mean that I don't go deep, but you don't have to be punishing yourself nonstop. It's like, give yourself a break.
I think one of the things you said there is, I think it's been super important for me, and I think it will benefit the audience who are listening as well. It's like, whenever something is happening, for us humans, I think it's a little bit easier mostly to receive the good things that are happening, and a little bit harder to receive the negative things, obviously. But what I've also noticed is sometimes these good things are happening to us in life. Like, we're enjoying, and then suddenly it's like, oh my God, should I enjoy this? Maybe the bad things will start to come. Oh, I should start worrying. The receiving of those good things again, gets kind of like cut off because of those fears. And the second part about this is, like, whenever those things are happening, like, I really love to make a note of those things, and again say, I want to experience more of this, because this is freaking awesome, and this is freaking amazing. And that works. In a weird way, that works. If you pay attention in that moment and be, we can say grateful, but just acknowledge and say, like, I just enjoyed this so much.
Yeah.
Please, more.
Yeah. I mean, because as we've said many times, we don't want anyone to be suffering. Suffering sucks. It's important for lessons, but also like.
This is. I think you're bringing up a huge topic, like suffering, right? Like, I think it's a huge one. Maybe we should even go into it a little bit, because so far, in my mind, as a human species, we've been learning a lot through suffering. That's a very big learning tool for us humans. Something happens in our life, we grow, and then the suffering happens, and we learn through that, hopefully. And then again, another cycle happens, and again, same thing. Little suffering and then learning. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I'm wondering, like, do you think we learn it a lot mostly from our parents, or like, I mean, like, passed down that way, or